Did you know that most tourists visiting Old San Juan will make the 7 mistakes discussed in this video? Will you? In most cases, they will cost them time, money, or affect their health. But one of them can even be deadly. Stick around and find out why. By now, you probably know that Puerto Rico is an island. That means that visitors arrive one of two ways: by ship or by plane. Sadly, the Puerto Rican government doesn't publish the percentages. But if I had to guess, I'd say that it's about 60-40. 60 by cruise ship and 40 by air. But don't quote me. It's only my educated guess based on 60 years exploring Puerto Rico. If you're one of those cruise ship passengers, you'll probably have about 8 hours to explore the old city. That's right, only 8. But if you arrive by air, the sky will be the limit. Sorry, I just had to slip in the pun. Old San Juan is a beautiful city with over 500 years of history. It's actually the third oldest capital in the New World, after Santo Domingo de Guzman and La Habana. So, you'll have plenty to explore. But, like any other city, you can also get into trouble, particularly if you don't watch this video to the very end. This video isn't gonna be about attractions. I have plenty of those on my YouTube channel and travel blog. It's about making sure that you enjoy Old San Juan to the fullest. So, let's get started. Error number 1. Poor hydration. Here are a few facts about Puerto Rico just to paint you a picture. Puerto Rico is right smack in the center of the Caribbean Sea. That means that it's the easternmost of the Greater Antilles and west of the Lesser Antilles. It's also hot. Most Puerto Ricans are accustomed to it. After all, we have no other choice. But for many visitors, it's suffocating. The average temperature is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 27 degrees Celsius for our European friends. The average humidity is 80%, and the average dew point is 71.9 degrees Fahrenheit. In 4 words, you're gonna sweat. That's 3 if you contract it. A lot! That makes it 6. So what can you do? Carry a water bottle wherever you go. Wear a wide brim hat and light color clothing, preferably cotton. Stand in the shade whenever you get a chance and steal some air conditioning at one of the city's fine gift shops. Maybe even buy something. If you feel exhausted or your heart is racing, take a break. Sit down. Take a breath. And here's a secret for all those 8-hour tourists from the cruise ships. You're never going to see it all. So slow down and enjoy what you do see. Finally, here's a trick that I learned from a hiker at Grand Teton National Park. Pull out your smartphone, put it in selfie mode, and stick out your tongue. I'm not joking. If it's white, you're dehydrated. Get some water and rest for a while. Error number 2. Poor skin protection. Did you know that the average UV index in Puerto Rico can reach 13? That's considered extremely risky, and it'll damage your skin. Of course, you'll see many of your fellow travelers roasting by the pool. So much so that the next morning, they'll look like giant flamingos. But take my word for it. Years down the road, they'll be at the dermatologist. I know because I've had 5 cancerous skin lesions removed so far. So what can you do? Remember that wide brim hat and light clothing that I mentioned a while ago? Well, they come with SPF 50 plus protection. So it's like wearing sun armor all day long. And if you add some regular sunblock protection on your skin, you'll be almost bulletproof. And don't forget your eyes. That UV radiation will wreck your retinas. So wear UV protected sunglasses too. Oh, and before I forget, towards the end of this video, I'm going to give you some photography tips as well. But here's one right now. Did you know that LED screens and UV sunglasses don't play well together? If you're into photography, take off your UV glasses before taking that special shot. You'll see the screen a lot better. Error number 3. Uncomfortable shoes. Your visit to Old San Juan is certainly not the time to break in new shoes. Instead, wear those worn-out sneakers that fit you like a glove. You'll be walking over uneven adoquines in the hot Caribbean sun, up and down hills with very little rest. So the last thing you'll want is blisters on your feet. So wear broken-in shoes designed for walking. That means flexible shoes with plenty of grip that will breathe and flex with your feet. This will prove to be particularly important if it rains. Error number 4. Walking on the city walls. Not a day goes by without the park rangers in Old San Juan having to admonish someone for walking on the walls. And not a year goes by without someone falling to his death. Sometimes more than one. Let me paint you a picture. In most areas, the San Juan city walls are around 40 feet high, with the highest point being 125 feet at the Caballero de San Miguel at Fort San Cristobal, and the lowest point being close to 20 feet near Paseo de la Princesa. In all cases, a fall from such a height will ruin your day for sure. In fact, it can cost you your life. Error number 5. Cycling on wet pavers. When I was a younger man, I loved to ride my bicycle to Old San Juan. I used to leave early in the morning and return between 2 and 3 in the afternoon. The entire ride was about 30 miles. One day, I was riding down Calle del Cristo on a rainy Sunday morning, when all of a sudden, I lost control of the bike. A fraction of a second later, I was sliding on my butt over the adoquines in front of San Juan Cathedral. Thank goodness my ego was the only thing bruised that day. But believe me, those beautiful blue adoquines are hard as hell. I had a black and blue on my buttock for close to a month. Nowadays, you see scooters everywhere in San Juan. And guess what? Those things are a lot less maneuverable than my aluminum mountain bike. So be careful. Bear in mind that adoquines are actually made of metal. So that should give you a clear idea of how hard they are. Error number 6. Wrong time, wrong place. We've all seen the pretty pictures of Old San Juan. And maybe you're one of those landscape photographers like me that are mostly there to take that once-in-a-lifetime shot. Well, guess what? There's a method to the madness. You have to study when to be where and plan your visit accordingly. Otherwise, you'll try to shoot sunrises at El Morro and sunsets near San Cristobal. Fortunately, there's an app for that. Remember the Apple commercial? It's called the Photographer Ephemeris, and it's available for Mac, Windows, iPhone, and Android. And guess what? It's free for Mac and Windows and only $10 for smartphones. So what does it do? It tells you from where the sun and moon are going to rise in the sky and where they're going to set. And it does it for any location in the world and for any date. Sounds simple, right? Well, it is. But that information makes all the difference in the world because it takes away all the guesswork. You'll know exactly where to stand and at what time and what to expect. Check it out at the address on screen, at the Apple Store, or at Google Play. Error number 7. Trying to see it all. Let's get something out of the way. If you're an 8-hour tourist, you'll never see everything in Old San Juan. It's simply impossible. But look on the bright side. It's also the perfect reason to buy my book, The Old San Juan Walking Tour. It's filled with useful information about all the main attractions, as well as online videos for the entire tour and GPS coordinates for every attraction. That way, you'll be able to visit before you visit and hit the ground running when you arrive in the old city. Having said that, the Old San Juan Walking Tour doesn't cover every single inch of Old San Juan either. It's a walking tour designed to be covered in around 6 to 7 hours. That's perfect for an 8-hour tourist. And since you'll pass on the human guide, you won't be steered into tourist traps and prearranged commercial establishments. Not that I've ever seen that happen in Old San Juan. And if you buy it in advance, you'll be able to tailor the tour to your interests and even add other attractions not covered in the book. And where can you find those attractions? Well, my site Puerto Rico by GPS is an excellent place to start. So there you have it. 7 mistakes tourists make in Old San Juan that you're going to avoid just by watching this video to the very end. This was Orlando Mergal for Puerto Rico by GPS, where we help English-speaking travelers discover Puerto Rico's hidden gems independently, without schedules, and guided only by their GPS. See you next time.